Ratutta Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurme Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmala Spatika Kritam Adaram Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Matre Namaha. Namaste everyone. In today's session, we will review another introductory session with the divine blessings of Acharya. We are going to know more about the Avatarika, the birth of Sri Lalita Sahasranamam, how it was really revealed to us in the universe, who gave it to who. So that is the purpose of this session. So first we will try to know more about where is this Lalita Sahasranama? We say Lalita Sahasranama. Where in our scriptures is Lalita Sahasranama? To that, the answer is that Lalita Sahasranama is found in the Brahmanda Purana. It is one of the Mahapuranas, and in the Uttarakanda of Brahmanda Purana is where we find details of Lalita Sahasranama. The Purana, the Brahmanda Purana itself has been given to us by Sage Vedavyasa. So, who gave Lalita Sahasranama to who? How did it all come up, right? So, who was the first one who actually revealed it and who bestowed it on somebody? So, Lord Hayagriva is the one who bestowed it to Sage Agastya. Hayagrivar. Let's worship Hayagrivar first. Hayagrivar is the horse-faced form of Sri Mahavishnu. In general, ordinary horses are referred to as Ashwam, Ashwa. But here, Lord is worshipped as Hayam, Hayagriva. Hayam is a very special breed of a horse. It's a Deva form of a horse. It is a horse, but it's not an ordinary horse. It's a very special breed of Deva form. And hence they are called as Hayam instead of Ashwam. And Grivam means neck. One who has the Grivam of this Hayam, the special horse, is Hayagriva. Grivam it also implies, here we have to see it figuratively as a whole. Grivam, not just the neck, but here we should say that one who is horse-faced, the entire face. So one who has horse face and neck like that of a Hayam horse is Hayagrivar. He is worshipped as Jnananandamayam. His form, how is it? He's the first one to reveal this Lalita Sahasranama and give it to somebody, right? So that form is no ordinary form. It says Jnananandamayam. That's the form of Sri Mahavishnu. Jnanam and Anandam. His form is filled with Jnanam, which is Brahma Jnanam, and hence the Anandam that comes out is Brahmanandam. So one who has this very divine form of Jnanam and Anandam is Hayagrivar. Is considered to be the guru of even Saraswati Mata. So that's the speciality of Hayagrivar. Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmala Spatika Kritam. How is his form? His form shines like a fine crystal. Nirmala means like that does not have any impurities. Nirmalam, like very pure Spatika crystal. His form is shining. That Brahmajnanam inside him is making him shine like a fine crystal. That's how his form is. So Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmala Spatika Kritam. Who is he? Adaram Sarva Vidyanam. He is the Adaram. He is the support for all of the Vidyas. And such Hayagrivar is the one that's going to bestow this very special knowledge about Lalitambika. Adaram Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmake. I bow down to that form of Lord Mahavishnu who has come as in the form of a Hayagrivar to bestow this very special knowledge on the Divine Mother. So Hayagrivar is the one who is going to bestow the knowledge. Who is he bestowing it on? He is bestowing it on Sage Agastiar. So Hayagriva gives it to Sage Agastiar. So now let's worship Agastiar. Sage Agastya is no ordinary sage. To know his kirti, we have to go to Srimad Ramayana. In the Aranyakanda, which is the forest where Sri Rama is going in the forest, when Sri Rama went to meet all the sages in the forest, at that time, whenever he comes to see a sage, Sri Rama will tell to Lakshmana and Sita Mata, "Oh, this is the name of the sage. This is the Veda Shaka that they follow." And he'll give all the details about that sage first, and then they will take the blessings from the sage. That's how it is. So first he'll give a introduction on the greatness of every sage that he meets, and then he will bow down and take their blessings. This is how with all other sages. But guess what Rama did when he went to darshan sage Agastya's in his hermitage? He sees Agastya. Usually, what does Rama do? He will first explain the greatness of that sage. But as soon as he sees Agastya, Sri Rama first straight down bows to Agastya. Only after that, he gets up and explains the greatness of Agastya to Lakshmana and Sita Mata. Such is the might of Agastya. Sri Rama himself bows straight down to that sage. Like words don't come when we see such great sages who are Brahmagyanis. Words don't come to explain anything. Immediately, without us knowing, we will go and fall on their feet to get their blessings. And that's exactly the bhavana that Sri Rama shows here. And that shows the might of who Agastya is. In Srimad Ramayana, that shloka very beautifully says, Evam Muktva Mahabaghuhu Agastyam Suryavarsacham Jag Jagraha Apatat Tasya Padaucha Raghunandana. Mahabaghu, the one who has like great arms, Sri Rama. Jagragaha Apatat, he reverentially bows down to whom Tasya Padau cha Raghunandanaha. As soon as he sees Agastya, he reverentially bows down and touches Sage Agastya's feet for blessings. That's how the might of Agastya is. And how does Agastya look now? The shloka says, Agastyam Surya Varsacham. He looks like the great tejas of Surya. He glowed like a great sun with Maha Tejas from his Puja Punyam, right? So that we saw Hayagrivar, Nirmala Spatika Kritam. He goes like glowing with like a Spatika crystal. The same way, Agastya here, he looked like a sun rising with Maha Tejas because of his Puja Palan. Sri Rama and Lakshmana are looking at Agastya and not able to speak a word. That is how his might and tejas is. And such a divine sage is now looking to get the blessings about goddess Lalitambika from Hayagrivar. See, that's the context here. That's how the Avatarika is. Lord Hayagrivar is now going to give it to Agastya. We know who Agastya is now. We know the greatness of that sage who is seeking the knowledge of Lalitambika. Imagine that. Agastya to whom Sri Rama bowed down without any words. That is the kirti of that Agastya. He is now coming to um, Hayagriva and asking, oh Ashwanana, Mahabuddhe. Mahabuddhe means one who has all the knowledge of Brahman. Sarva Shastra Visharata. You know all the Shastras. Oh, Hayagrivar, you explained so many details to me, says Agastya. What are the details that Agastya got from Hayagriva even before anything else? Shoda Nyasa, how to do the Nyasas, Bandasura Vadam, We will be talking about all of this in the later sessions. So Hayagrivar explains about this Asura Banda and the Vadam, how Lalitambika did Vadam of Bandasura. Pattabhishekam of Lalitambika, the coronation of Mother Goddess. Japa Vitanam, how to do all the japams. Mantras, how to do Panchadasi mantra. The details of Panchadasi mantra Upadesam. He has given all of this. But Agastya feels like Hayagrivar hasn't said everything in full. So this great Agastya, he looks at Hayagrivar. He's in Guru Sthanam now. So he says, I still feel like there is something else I need to know. With great bhavyam. Yeah, he says like, so being so humble. And he says, I think you are yet to bestow this divine Sahasranamam of Goddess Lalitambika. Hmm? Kindly, please tell me why you haven't given this to me. You've told about the Nyasas, you've told about the Pandasravada, you've told about the Kaharanation of Lalitambika, the Japavitanam. You've given everything to me, oh Lord Hayavadana. Please tell me why you haven't given to me that divine Sahasranama of Goddess Lalitambika. Kindly, please tell me the reason. By any chance, did you forget? Is that why you have not given to me? That's how Agastya is talking. Okay. Is Guru, right? So he does not want to ask directly, like, why you have not. So he's like very politely saying, maybe you forgot. Is that why? Or, he's going even more humble and saying, do you think I'm not eligible yet? Who? Agastya, to whom Rama himself bowed down. He's asking very politely and humbly, do you think I'm not eligible yet to know about Sri Lalitambika? Please tell me. Hmm? At that time, Hayagrivar, you know what he does? He meditates on the Divine Mother and asks her permission. That's what Hayagrivar does. So this tells the importance. The sage who is asking is no ordinary sage, but anytime we have to have the Upadesham of the Moola mantras that are in Sri Lalitha Sahasranama, need to get the blessings of Goddess Lalitambika. It needs to come from the Guru. So the Guru is meditating on the Goddess, Divine Mother, and asking her, oh, Divine Mother, Sage Agastiar is asking, what should I do? At that time, the Divine Mother herself says, oh, Sage Agastiar. Sage Agastiar is our LopaMudra's husband. See what Lalitambika is saying? Sage Agastiar is asking, Ambika knows Sage Agastia's Kirti, but she says, oh, is Agastiar asking? Yeah, Agastiar is our Lopamudra's husband. So please definitely bestow my Lalita Sahasranamam on Agastiar. That's the permission Ambika gives very happily. So here, when Hayagrivar asks, can I give it to Agastiar? Amba gives a very special reason to say yes. She says yes, but she says it with a very special reason. And what's the special reason that Ambal said here? She says, Agastya is our Lopamudra's husband. See, the greatness of the divine consort of Agastya is Lopamudra. So, the story goes that Lopamudra, uh, they said that Agastya, they Lopamudra's parents and everyone, relatives say that there is this great sage and you have to marry him. So Manasikam, in her mind, she had always thought about Agastya as her husband. Okay. But Agastya being a divine legendary sage, he's not so involved in the Laukika uh, husband and wife relationship and marriage. So he is a Brahmagyani. So he's not interested in anything else. So Lopamudra does not know what to do now. She has thought in her mind that Agastya, she has firmly fixed that Agastya is her husband. But Agastya is always meditating on the Brahman and not showing interest. So what would Lopamudra do? So Lopamudra, she herself goes and prays to Divine Mother Lalitambika herself. See, Lalitambika, she as Goddess Parvati, she did very ardent tapas to get Lord Shiva, right? Shiva is somebody who does not move, like he's Nirguna Tattvam. But Parvati wanted to marry Lord Shiva. So she did ardent tapas and she won over the heart of Lord Shiva and she married, right? That is the story of Parvati Parameshwara. So Lopamudra now thinks that the only person that can rescue her is Ambika. So Lopamudra becomes a very sincere devotee of Lalitambika, and she's she prays very intensely. And that time, because of Lalitambika's grace, Sage Agastiar marries Lopamudra, right? So Lopamudra is a very pious wife of Agastiar. That's one speciality. In addition, Lopamudra Mata is also one of the 12 primary Sri Vidya Upasakars. So when Agastya wanted Lalita Sahasranama Diksha, Ambal is saying, "Oh, Agastya, you want to give? Are you asking me to give? To bestow the Sahasranama? Yes, yes, yes. We have to definitely give it to Agastya. Why? Because he is our Lopamudra's husband. Lopamudra's is an ardent and primary Sri Vidya Upasakar, and being the husband of Lopamudra gave extra special. In addition to the kirti that he has, the 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 association of Sri Vidya Upasakars. See, that's the greatness that's conveyed here. Amba is bringing out the beauty of associating oneself with a Sri Vidya Upasakar, right? And that gives so much, that brings divine blessings. That's what it means. So, by the grace of goddess and the permission of goddess, Hayagrivar does the Upadesam and Diksha of Sri Lalitha Sahasranama to Sage Agastiar. If a great sage like Agastyar, that Sri Rama himself bowed down to, wanted to know more about Sri Lalita Sahasranama, imagine the depth and breadth of this Sahasranama. And imagine how much praise we need to do to recite this divine Sahasranama of Goddess Lalitambika. So that's to give you a taste of how important the Sahasranama is. This is very, very important, um, to have the blessings for reciting this divine Sahasranama. That's why we started with Vande Guru Parampara. Very, very important. Acharya in Saundarya Lahari has a very beautiful explanation of what is needed to recite Lalita Sahasranama. The very first shloka, Acharya says, Pranamtum stotum va katamakrita punya prabhavati. Acharya says, in order to do pranamtum, stotum va, in order to do stotram, in order to recite Sri Lalita Sahasranama, or any form of Ambika worship, a devotee will be able to recite and worship the Divine Mother Sri Lalitambika only if there is at least even a little bit of Akrita Punyam, Purva Janma Punyam. It is the result of good deeds that we have done in our previous births. Khatamakrita punya prabhavati. At least very little punya, only if we had that we brought from Purva Janma, that we will be able to recite Sri Lalita Sahasranama in this Janma. That is the speciality and sanctity of this worship of Lalita Sahasranama. Thus, the Avatarika, the birth of Lalita Sahasranama, and how it was revealed and how it happened in the Guru Parampara from Lord Hayagrivar to Sage Agastya. This is the story of it. As next steps with Acharya's blessings, let's review the next introductory session in Lalita Sahasranama, where we will continue the story of how the Divine Mother Lalitambika instructed the Vak Devatas, Vasanyadi Vak Devatas, to compile Sri Lalita Sahasranamam That's first. And the details of how it was recited for the very first time in Amba Sabha herself. So we will see all of these details in the next introductory session. Loka samasta shukino bhavantu. Shri Matre Namaha. May everyone in the whole world be very, very happy. Thank you so much, everyone.